What was the site originally in? Yeah, it's kind of like washing your hair, elbow.
Yeah.
We just. I bet.
Yeah.
Like 2 times. I'll go through my things when we get to the comments, so if you have anything.
See, Amazon's open.
Feel free to.
Yes.
Sure.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
Oh, iPod, K-Pod. Tangy.
Yeah, two, three, and up.
Yeah.
They're all owned by the same company.
Are they?
Yeah, they own Tangy and Ohio and Pills.
Okay. We've tried to get into the way that open, we haven't.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You just wait for the house.
Right after church, it was delicious.
Good.
It's already-
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh, is Rachel winning?
Rachel said she could be here today, so we're doing good.
That's part of the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, having work meetings on Mondays.
Right. Good afternoon. We'll call the meeting to order at this time. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This time we'll have roll call. Mr. McConnell.
Member Schweitzer. Present. Member Meta.
Present.
Member Moodry.
Present.
Member Weinfeld.
Here.
Member Elsie.
Here.
Member Bradley.
Here.
Secretary McConnell is present. Vice Chair Kaczynski.
Present.
And Chair Hunt Proctor.
Present.
All are present.
Thank you very much. Approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Mr. Weinfeld, supported by Mr. Schweitzer. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Kozinski,
Support.
supported by Mr. Moudry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The
Nay,
ayes, nay.
the vote on the motion on the Caterpillar is not on the minutes.
H3.
Page 3, before public comments.
Yes, I noticed that.
We can take care of it.
Thank you.
All right, it is so noted. It's been supported with one opposition. It is carried. Thank you. Correspondence, we have none. Old business, we have none. Public hearings, Mr. McConnell.
Yes, we have case numbers PSL 24 -05 and SP 24-04, 3020 Snow Road, a special land use amendment to prevent an expansion of the existing vehicle repair and vehicle sales / leasing facilities special land use permit for a 7,800 square foot shop addition, a 2,600 square foot covered unloading area, a 7,200 square foot warehouse building, and 32 truck-sized parking spaces and corresponding site plan review.
Thank you, Mr. McConnell. Assistant Planning Director, Walagore.
Yes, thank you. So the subject parcel is currently zoned commercial. It's located in the historic Millet neighborhood between Lansing Road and Old Lansing Road, just north of Millet Highway and west of Snow Road, on an angled parcel. Historically, this was the site of the Starlight Drive-In until about 1954. The present applicant has established this use here since 2014. They are here for an event or an addition to onto the existing building, so that would be on the south side, consisting of 3 new covered bays and 1 covered unloading area or an awning, totaling 10,400 square foot. Additionally, there's a proposed 7,200 square foot warehousing building located on the northwest portion of the property, and some additional parking spaces. So looking at the surrounding zoning, to the north, we have Lansing Road right of way, and to the north of that, the township's industrial sector. To the east is RC and RA, basically single family residential. To the south, we have some NR and RC, still single family residential. Looking for the standards of review for the site plan portion. As you can see, many of the standards have been met. We have yet to receive comments from the engineering department, but those are forthcoming. In our department meeting, there were no, major issues with engineers review. And I can take any questions regarding the site plan before we get into the special land use portion, which is the public hearing portion.
Commissioners? No
Yeah,
question?
have we had any comments from any of the neighbors, particularly the residential neighbors, Dave?
I've received 2 calls and I sent a copy of the single site plan to them, and I didn't receive any feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Page 9 of the report. You have item C, screening, it says to be determined. Can you clarify?
Yeah, we haven't got to that portion yet, but ultimately in this one, if you look at the way the standard is stated, it is the township board who ultimately has the final say in this. So I can't predict exactly what they will recommend. At staff level, I don't see additional screening as necessary in this instance. The property is very well screened with existing vegetation, and in the areas which they haven't, the applicant is providing modern buffer requirements.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Question, you look like you're thinking. Yeah, question.
No,
You look
that's
pretty much into thought. All right, there being none, do we need to open a public hearing?
Yeah. If you want to do it.
Yeah, I can present the facts of finding for the special land use, then we can open the public hearing. So section 7.03 are the general standards for special land use. So the first one is compatibility with the comprehensive plan. The comp plan recommends commercial at this location. Compatibility with adjacent uses, I found that it meets the standard, the use is existing. The township hasn't received any complaints regarding noise or debris on this property. That they're really a rather well taken care of piece of property, given its size and location. Impact on public services, there really were none. Impact on the overall environment, I'm not foreseeing anything. Traffic impact, most of the traffic on this is going to be unnoticed by many of the local residents, as it has direct access off Lansing Road. Operational characteristics, it's not going to be, very much different than what's going on there now. I would be surprised if you actually noticed anything different. Compliance with the zoning ordinance standards, they understand that they have to, the plant that they submit has to meet all applicable standards. Special land use approval specific requirements, we're continue on that now. Site plan review, we've already talked about. So section 8.61 for vehicle repair. It does meet the standard for primary access because of the Lansing Road connectivity. The applicant isn't won't have any outdoor storage or isn't proposing any outdoor storage at this time. Screening, as I said before, ultimately this standard is decided by the township board. However, it's my recommendation that no additional screening is needed against the, compared to what the new buffer requirements that they are meeting. Disposal containers, there's no proposed outdoor storage containers. Repair and maintenance facilities, everything is going to be proposed indoors. It already is occurring indoors. Front yard setback restrictions, there are no ancillary services proposed in the plan. Vehicle sales and listing and leasing shall be permitted in conjunction with a vehicle repair facility. And we're about to go into that. So really the only issue with this is the setback in C. No vehicles shall be parked or displayed within 20 feet of any road right of way. So on the north side, they're proposing, I believe, 5 trucking spaces, which are 10.3 feet from the road right of way. So I'm proposing that, directing the applicant to either, relocate or redesign those spaces and further administrative site plan review, or to seek relief from the ZBA. The rest meet standards, and I can take any questions that you might have regarding the special land use standards.
Question? No questions at this time?
Has the applicant had any feedback to you regarding the setback?
Just, they were a little surprised by it because, we didn't have it in the 1990 plan. So they already have, parking right next to it for this proposed use for the display use. So they have a whole bunch of legal non-conforming parking.
So I take it they had not yet applied to ZBA for.
No, not yet. Typically, for major things, we like to promote them or recommend they go to the ZBA first, but this is something that kind of fell through the cracks until the last minute.
On this portion, or do we go to public hearing?
Motion to open the public hearing.
I'm sorry, who supported? Mr. McConnell, Mr. Weinfeld. Need vote or?
Yes.
Okay, voice.
Yes.
All those in favor of going to the public hearing, please?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is open. Thank you.
Does anyone ask him? Is there anyone that want to
If I can.
name and address for the record, please?
Colin Porter, 5325 Millet Highway. So the church parking lot, we're right across the street from the church. So on the west side. At the southwest corner of the plans. Yeah, that's the Lansing Road, or the old Lansing. You'd be up more a little bit towards where the parking spots are, but it's close. I guess we have a couple concerns, and truly it's a little on our fault when you commented that there's been no issues that have been reported. We probably should have said things. There has been, I don't know what the town ordinance is for the volume, but there has been air horns and air brakes late at night. Sometimes the bays are open and it does get distracting, I'll say. No control of their own, the explosions and tires blowing up on some of the trucks that lit on fire in the middle of the day. The berm there that we're talking about, that going up to the proposed square footage building, the storage, you can see the berm cuts off. I'm not sure what screening is past that, or if there needs to be screening there, but there's no screening. It's an open shot straight through. Behind the top left, right in there. And I got, like I said, I guess we kind of failed in not reporting things, but it was just one of those. It was an annoyance. Also, our understanding was there was no access to be coming from Old Lansing Road. And that did happen, and we do have some traffic. It's lessened over the years. That trucks will turn the wrong way or come down through there. But our understanding, Old Lansing Road wasn't supposed to have access at all. So that's another one of our concerns. Larger business, larger, amounts of traffic. And then a comment as maybe you misspoke, you had said that the access was off of Lansing Road. It's technically off of the side street Snow Road. Yes, sir.
Dave, could you please give me a real life shot? I cannot make heads or tails of the site plan. So if you can put the actual property up there, I think that'd be helpful for me.
It's fair.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, you can see the Old Lansing Road. You got that, the entrance there. We were understanding there would be no entrance from Old Lansing Road during the initial proposed building of this facility. You can see in the upper right, Snow Road. That is the main entrance to the front. It is not off of Lansing. It is into the park. It is into the neighborhood slightly. And then in the now lower left corner towards in the middle kinda, that's where that proposal will be in the top left corner of their property where that building will be. And that is a straight shot through. There's no berm, there's no screening. And unless there's a couple trees, but if they're building that warehouse there, I would think they're pulling out trees to make room for a warehouse. We're less concerned with the expansion of their main building. That is plenty far away. I mean, more building, more noise, but it's been 10 years. We've dealt with that some. But I think that's our main concerns. What's that? Oh, that's true. And the other question is how close is how close will that building be actually from the back end of that property, the 7,200 square foot? Because I know during measurement, we had neighbors there, the people measuring and site surveying were trying to get into backyards through fences, and it's just like, no. No, thank you.
Proposed 40 feet.
No, 40 feet, okay. And that's okay, that is a tree line there that will remain. I don't know how. I don't even know. Yeah, so yeah, that doesn't really screen much of anything. Now, I don't know how loud work in the warehouse. Is it gonna be high lows and things backing up and beeping at all hours of the evening too? I don't know. But that's just more the concern. It is right there on properties basically, and we, like I said, we already get air horns, we already get air brakes. So. Any other concerns? Or anybody else want to add to the comments?
It's not.
It shouldn't cut in I don't think it should cut in the properties, but it's gonna be 40 foot back. So that's what I'm understanding.
So I heard what you said. Can you kind of summarize what your remedy would be or what you're looking? If this happens, what would you like to see happen?
I mean, truly and honestly, I don't see a lot of this is the grievances from previous, the fact that the entrance from Old Lansing Road wasn't supposed to be there. The berm is nice where it's at, but it didn't go all the way across. There's some screening there, but from what I'm understanding and seeing, it's like they're gonna take that out. My concern is that it's just gonna bring all the noise and and everything closer to our neighborhood, to our side. I don't know what the actual proposed fix should be on that, but I'm here to say that I understand the site survey and all that stuff said there was no issue and it applies, but it might comply, but it's not anywhere feasible for our neighborhood. It will definitely cause more disruption. And as I said, we already get roads, trucks down the wrong way. Again, I said it lessened over the years and it has. And then we already deal with cut throughs on Millet, so it's just another addition of, cut throughs on Millet Highway to get to the Meyer Distribution Center. And it's just, compounding everything that's already there.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Are vehicles turning right from Snow Road on to exit?
Do we ever see them coming right on the snow?
Or is it just traffic coming in from Old Lansing Road?
We've had trucks on Old Lansing Road. It's lessened over the time, but and our road Millet, trucks will come down Millet, whether they're just lost or confused on where they're at and it's a mistake, but it still does happen. Again, it's lessened over the years. But it still does happen.
So is there any traffic making a right turn off from Snow Road from the
The trucks have to come in on Snow Road because there is no.
Right.
access on-
what I'm talking about is leaving D&K Trucking.
Do they take it
Are
right
they
on
making
snow
a-
and come to
making a
Old
right
Lansing
turn on Snow Road?
and come down towards Old Lansing? I'm not sure on that. I don't get to see where they're coming from. We just basically see the trucks coming to and from down Old Lansing Road. I
All
cannot
right.
tell you for sure, sir.
Thank you.
And I don't know if there's any other questions for me or not. Thank you. Thank you.
Would the applicant like to speak? Name and address for the record, please.
How you doing? Dan Van Acker at 4149 River Cove. And I also own the old fire station on Millet Road. And so that's my concern with that. And I think this would be definitely an improvement from what there is there now. I mean, if you can get more stuff inside the building, it doesn't cause the blight on the outside of the building. There's 17 acres there. It should be adequate room if the buildings or the plans are well designed. I've had one time over 1 million square foot in the central Michigan area warehousing. And I could name the top 5 people keeping things clean and organized. And Ed Bennett in the D&K truck could be on that top 5 right there. They have a full-time landscaper and just mows lawns, plants flowers. I don't know if you drove by there or not, but it's for the service they provide. It's truck repair and truck sales. It's a dirty business, but they do an excellent job of keeping it clean. And I have no problem with him heading on to that building. If Ed's doing it, it's done right. So I mean, it's just and it's not nothing he has to do. He takes it personal, and this curb appeal fits very well. I like the fact you said the historic Millet area, because that's what it is. There's a lot of history right there. And Ed's kind of contributed to a lot of the maintenance along that road there and stuff too. So I don't know if you have any questions, but I'm definitely in support of him doing this. And my building is the one that's kind of pie shaped right there in the corner. I use it for a toy box, right? Collecting antique cars.
That triangle, right?
Yeah, right there. It's the old fire station. So, yeah, so I don't live there, so I can't argue with what he said and stuff. So, but I have no problem with anything Ed does.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Would the applicant like to speak at this time? Please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Scott. I'm with Rand Construction. Address and all that's on the board right there, 1270 Rickett Road in Brighton. And this will be our third round with this facility. We built the original, built the office expansion, and hope to be doing this one if you folks see your way clear to allow it. I didn't know when I would speak at all, like a little bit later, or this is the time period. All right, so I can speak to several of the things that have been said thus far. One, whatever the zoning ordinance was for Delta Township, doing feedback here somehow. Step back, step up, I don't know. That we built the original building under is whatever those rules were. It was only a year or two later, I just learned by proposing this current project that, you know, you did your homework and master planning and all those things, and so you've changed some rules. So to the point about the display parking on Lansing Road, you know, limited access highway. You can see the parking as it stands there today. It's angled. It's at the spacing from right of way that was originally built when the rules were such that it could be. So the client wants to add, I have to make two corrections. One, the angled spaces that we want to add, the quantity is actually 7. My civil engineer drew 6 and David reviewed 5. So we have a multitude of misgiving, but 7 spaces angled the other way that would look exactly the same as everything else that's there. I know you're not the ZBA, but the case of precedent is set under your own zoning ordinance pre-project to do something alternative would just make it not look like Ed did it. So that I'd like to say that. The auxiliary building, yes, it is 40 feet from the property line. We were trying all sorts of configurations, lengths and widths and depths and things. And so I got my civil engineer out there and we staked out because we wanted to see for the neighbors' benefit, because Ed does care about his neighbors and his property, as Dan said very, very sweetly, I think, but he does inside, outside. So we put some stakes out there. We early staked a 60 by 60. And so if some neighbors were looking to try and see what it was, or maybe you were talking about our surveyors in your backyard. But anyway, we put some stakes out there, probably still there right this minute. It is a good distance from the property line. We're not taking a single tree down to build that building. Yes, we are removing some of the berm, but we're taking that berm material and putting it up on top of the berm that's already there. So the buffer in both sight and sound is going to grow, you know, at that southerly end, and yes, start to disappear a little bit at the northerly end. But this building will match in every single detail that of the existing building. Some siding here, some brick there. It's just going to be a twin baby brother over there. So attractive building. There were a couple of other points. Oh, one of the other points, this isn't huge either, and just looking for clarity. And I'm looking to clarify for 32 new truck size spaces. Technically, we're putting spaces back where spaces were. So the true sum total of new spaces being added to the property per this addition is 8. The 7 new ones on the angle, 2, one of the sheets shows us really well. But anyway, the 7 angled ones, 2 near the new warehouse, and then you reconfigure it there. You know, next sheet, Dave.
They don't get the full plan because of size restrictions. So.
Yeah, it's right there, right there. Okay. So top left shows the new warehouse building. We're tucking in 2 new spaces into what was green belt, so that's 2. And then I already described those twice. That's drawn as 6. We meant 7. Engineer screwed up. So 7 there. 7 and 2 is 9. In the back, there were 25 that become 24 because we're losing 2 to make some green belt over there. So net add is 8 spaces. Okay, and that's about it. There are yeah, I think that's it. Questions for me? Sir,
Just so I'm clear, the top left panel, where David's.
Yep.
Could have left it just like that, thank you. So you're gonna be building up the berm on the bottom left side, is that what I heard you say?
on that particular drawing, there's a north-south, let's call it oriented berm that comes up to about halfway through that goldish yellowish block today.
Yep.
We're gonna have to take some of that soil out of there and we're moving it south up on top of the north-south berm that
Right.
exists there today.
And then what was the other green belt you just mentioned? Where was that?
Bottom left-hand panel, you can leave it how it is, Dave. The little, what looks like a missile silo there on the right edge of the parking,
Mhm.
that doesn't exist there today. So it's getting added because we're moving a hydrant and protecting that hydrant through some green belt.
Okay.
So
Thank
that was 25, becomes 24. They just got longer. They did get deeper, but they're not new spots.
And if I heard you correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're maintaining that you should be grandfathered in regarding the right of way because that's the way it was before?
What I did say is precedent along the street is set. We're adding spaces in the exact same format. That's our desire. And we didn't know to come to a potential ZBA meeting until Friday and today's Monday. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So they mentioned, they hear noises, which I think would be normal for a business of this nature. What are your hours of operation and what would they be for the warehouse that's gonna be closest to the?
Glad you asked that. I'm Ed Bennett, by the way. I'm the president and principal owner. The warehouse will strictly be, sorry. I'm usually loud enough for everybody here. The warehousing will be, we get there at 7:30 in the morning. And it would be till only 5 o'clock that we would, it's just offloading some of our extra parts in there. We have just run out of room to put extra parts. It will not be run at night. I don't have staff for that warehouse, nor do I plan on having staff for the warehouse, strictly to set parts in. Some of our larger parts, and it keeps it off of the parking lot. I am very finicky. I don't need to be told by anybody to keep the place clean, keep it mowed, I left a place on the north end of town and I swore when I came here, I would keep it nice, and that's my goal. So 5 o'clock would be the time that the warehouse people would be.
Expansion that you're building out to the normal, that's still 11:30.
That is 11:30 PM, but there will probably not be much more activity in those bays. There will be units in there. Yeah, I just can't get staff enough to put them in there at night to do that. I've got 3 mechanics at night right now. So, compared to 12 or 13 during the day, so.
It is open so late, we do hear the impact.
Okay.
We're gone to impact lines and things that, close to 11.
And I would be happy to share with some of my techs knowing this, to maybe we could close those doors facing you guys a little more at night when I have the guys there. Yeah, I got it. I know what you live next to and I'm trying to keep it very nice.
Nice.
I bought the bad looking house out there and made it look like a park and it did nothing other than pay taxes and make it look like a park to keep the neighbors happy, so.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate this banter back and forth between the property owner and the
sorry.
neighbors. And I actually hope it will continue outside of this meeting. Because it sounds like we have a property owner who wants to keep his property nice and in good shape. He has done so. And it sounds like he's willing to work with you all in terms of some of the issues that you've raised here. So I do appreciate that. So let's be sure that we keep that communication going once this meeting ends as well. Okay.
So I'm
Thank
more
you.
than happy.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
A few comments, observations. Would you consider if you're gonna use high-lows or fork trucks to go electric rather than gas? It really cuts down on the gunning of the fork trucks?
Yeah, I would consider that. I've got to see what it would entail as
yeah.
far as, infrastructure and that, but
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
We only have one fork truck. And they back up to the dock and unload. I'm not saying we don't run stuff out into the parking lot once in a while and drop it, but we have one fork truck.
yeah, usually when they're running, they're fine. It's the
Yes.
gunning
Yeah,
of the engines
understand.
and stuff.
Understand.
Number two is signage on that road in question. Is there anything signage to prevent the trucks from using that?
Yes.
There
Yes,
is.
yes, sir.
So,
And we've told them, we've called the factories who deliver trucks into us and so on. And say they have to come in off this. Google sometimes sends them in your way. We're doing everything we can to control them,
I
but
think that's why we were confused when that entrance from Old Lansing was there, because we were understanding that there wasn't supposed to be one at all.
yeah, no, we had asked for it.
Which would have taken care of that.
Right.
okay. Now, and where the warehouse is going to be built, that is up against your property, correct? Their property, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I would think that that warehouse building would kind of buffer the noise from the other part of the facility.
That actually was when I was considering the neighbors and where to put this and do it. And I'm not the engineer in this, I'm a dump truck guy. but
Noise abatement.
That was basically, you've got the berm, you've got a building that's gonna, you're gonna pull some out, put it over here to help quiet down there.
Yep.
You're putting a building to shelter the rest. Should be the same noise deadening, I would assume. I'm not a engineer, but
I would think there would be some noise abatement
yeah,
from that.
I
building.
sure would think so.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
I move with close public hearing. Or
Then moved by Schweitzer to Weinfeld. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Commissioner,
Madam Chair, I wish to offer a motion.
please.
I move the Delta Township Planning Commission approve the preliminary site plan for the proposed D&K trucking expansion, subject to the following conditions, of which there are 6.
Then moved by Mr. Weinfeld, supported by Mr. Moudry.
Mr.
I'm
Meadow.
sorry, Mr. Magall, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Need a motion for the,
Yes.
Mhm.
Madam Chair. Go ahead. I'm prepared to make a motion on the special land use permit. Move the Delta Township Planning Commission recommend approval of a special land use permit amendment to the Township Board for a vehicle repair and vehicle sales / leasing and service facility. Special land use permit by D&K Trucking Company as described in case number PSL 2405, subject to the following conditions of approval. And I think there are 3.
Mhm.
Just 3.
Just 3.
Three.
Is there support?
Support?
I'm sorry, who supported? Mr. Magall?
We've got a.
Yes,
Just a clarification.
sure.
This man has worked very hard to keep his E&K truck company, not truck. E&K truck company, if that could be properly reflected in the notes.
Okay. That's fine.
Really appreciate that, thank you.
All right.
A lot of people get us confused.
I repeat my motion minus the aim.
All right, thank you. All those in favor?
This is a public hearing, you don't need to have an individual vote. I think so.
Roll call vote.
Roll call, right.
Oh. Right.
Yep.
Oh, okay, you got a sheet?
I do have a sheet.
All right.
Member Switzer,
Support.
member Meadow,
Support.
member Moudry,
Support.
member Weinfeld,
Support.
member Elzinga,
Support.
member Bradley.
Support.
Secretary McConnell just wants to comment that I live nearby. I drove by there again today. You have one of the nicest, well-kept landscape looking facilities I've seen. So, and the entrance off of Lansing Road is well marked, so trucks should be able to figure that out.
Thank you.
And I vote yea. And Vice Chair Kaczynski
Support.
and Chair Hunt Proctor.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes.
Can I just make a recommendation with I have the same problem with my business, at taking people to the back of my building instead of the front, you know. If you have a administrator who does your Google ads or your Google, ask them to go in to your account and they can change where Google takes people
Okay,
under Google Maps.
I think we've tried that, but absolutely, I will get with her first thing tomorrow morning.
They take a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it takes a while, but you have to keep
Oh, I know.
doing it.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Other business. I'm sorry. Yes, please.
So we're gonna do our best to get you on the township board meeting next Monday, so here at 6 p.m. to finish the SLU. Yep.
Thank you very much. Other business? There's none. Public comments? None at this time. Planning Director comments, Mr. Menzer?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Just a couple things to add. If you hadn't heard already, and I'm not sure where you would have heard it, but Gary Bozick did submit his retirement. So we're hoping to have him back at some point, probably for a resolution of appreciation. That the retirement is official today, but I don't know when he'll be back, but we'll keep you in the loop on when that might be. I'm not sure if he'll come to this meeting or if he'll go to a board meeting. You all got an email from me regarding packet delivery and hard copies of packets. The intention behind that is friendly. It's just that we just don't have the time to be able to deliver those packets. So we're gonna phase those out. If that presents a problem to you in the review of the materials, please let me know. I'm trying to work on alternatives, but all just for context, all the other boards and commissions that we work with here are pretty much moved to all digital submittals and digital review. So we're trying to move in that direction as well, because I mean, Dave and I are the planning crew at this point. Well, we do have a job posting out for an associate planner that we're getting some responses to. We don't have interviews or anything set up yet, so that's gonna run through the next couple weeks, hoping to get somebody on board. Back to what I was saying about packets, so that's true we'll have hard copy packets here at the township when they're finished, if you do want to come pick something up. Like I mentioned in my email, we no longer, we used to get, I'm appreciative that we moved away from this, and especially my career, we've moved away from collecting full, 36 by 24 packets of everything. And now we just get, usually our online submittal form is just PDFs. And that's pretty much true for building department, fire department, everybody, that's all we get. So if you need something, the largest I can print out easily is 11 by 17. So if you have challenges with that, just always please just be sure to contact me, or certainly David. Next couple meetings, your agendas on the 24th, we've got the Tailgaters site plan review. So that was that convenience store down on South Kreitz, where Kreitz Lansing Road meet. You saw the land use permit for the SLUP. Now they're back for the site plan. So that's June 24th. July 8th, the next phase of the BWL project is happening. This is their battery storage system. So you saw the internal combustion engine rooms, and now they're adding battery storage. And we understand that there's a third phase out there somewhere where there's solar equipment. And so that's July 8th. At some point in the future, we have been working with the Delta Crossings owners about submitting the next phase of that project. It might be a large commercial user, but don't have a lot of details on it. And what we're told is they plan on submitting the rezoning, special land use permit and site plan all at once. So that's a big bite. We'll be sure to get all that information arranged in a way that's easy to understand what's going on. We did also, in talking to them, share the information that phase three, now we're going back several years at this point. Phase three was the residential apartment development that has expired. So they'll have to reapply and come back through our process for that. But you know, you get 2 years to make some sort of improvements to the site that hadn't happened. So they're going a little out of order, moving on to this commercial development and then presumptively coming back to the residential component of that project. Yeah, unless you have questions for me, that's all I've got right now.
Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
I will not be here for the meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I will also not be here.
And I will not be here.
I wanna, is that the 8th?
The next meeting is June 24th,
But the one after that though.
is the 8th.
That one is tricky for me. 'Cause
Okay.
How many people do we have?
You'll be the only one that we know about on the 8th.
Oh, okay, the 8th is my issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 3 out then for the 24th.
Yes.
Correct.
That's the way it goes.
I will not be in the area. I will not be in the state.
Neither will I.
You're not even Zoomable.
No.
Does anyone else have foreseen issues with that meeting? I asked, I mean, life happens, and if you have to cancel, you cancel, and we do another meeting, but we will send notices out for that. Coming up, so if you do have something, please get with Dave or I. Let us know, we can, you know. It happens, we can always reschedule things and we'll tell the applicants that that's what the deal is, and they'll just have to work with it on our system.
But it's the 26th for August.
The 24th is where we're having an attendance issue, but we do have, you know, 6 will do it in terms of quorum, so.
It just means nobody else.
It just means no one else can miss.
Try to keep breathing until then. huh?
Yeah, and then if we just have the one absence on July 8th, we could still proceed fine, just fine.
It's fine for me. That's.
Madam Chair. Peter, I for one would like to do something on behalf of the planning commissioners for Gary Wilson. So keep us abreast of what's planned, and I'm thinking, personally, I would like to get something for him, as well as make some comments. So keep you abreast of timing so that we can figure out how to do this.
Yep, and I'm not trying to be, I just don't have a lot of information yet, so I'll certainly share it when we do.
I mean, if the township board wants to be that venue where they honor him, that's fine, but just let us know so that we can maybe not just participate with our own comments, but maybe honor him with something as well.
Okay, will do.
That'd be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
How long had he been in the planning department?
39 years?
Yeah, 39.
Oh, very nice.
A newbie. Almost broke it in, huh?
Yeah, almost.
And director since 2017.
I have one question. The at-home block,
Yeah,
what's the deal?
the deal is we're trying to get the operator, the developer to clean that mess up at least the blocks that have fallen. So, and that's been, you know, what I've been saying is, you know, be ready to face the firing squad essentially if you come here with the blocks on the ground still. The wall itself, you know, there is a foundation under that wall. The developers had a structural engineer put a study together saying that it is feasible to stand or safe to stand. So that's what we've been going on. I think the townships, at this point, you know, they plan on using that foundation and wall for a new tenant. So at this point, we haven't pushed that issue with them. But we have pushed the let's get the rest of the site cleaned up before you do anything else issue. Kind of advertise it that way, that there's gonna be a lot of criticism if they come before any public group to have to answer for
I get
that.
a lot of questions, you know.
I do
It
too.
looks like they're knocking it down. No, that was knocked down in the August storm.
Right.
You know,
One of the primary challenge, to be honest with you, and I don't think this is inappropriate to share. There's been ongoing litigation on
Right.
that
Oh, yeah.
development. So we were told by council fairly early on that to I'll say get involved with that by making any kind of requirement that has to come down would maybe entangle us in their lawsuit. So that's why that directive wasn't made at the time. Now that that's getting resolved, we're hoping to see some sort of direction on how that's all gonna come together. I don't know if they have a tenant. It doesn't necessarily sound like they have a tenant for that space yet, but they certainly want to reuse it because I guess it represents a significant investment just in the work they've done on that foundation. So I hope to have more on that soon. I'd love to have the site cleaned up yesterday if possible.
So the proposal that will be coming before us is not for that property.
Correct.
Thank you.
I can't unveil
That's
anything more than
fine, I
that,
just-
but it's a commercial development
Okay.
that you haven't seen yet, probably.
Okay, and it's not for that property.
Can I ask
Too
you a
bad.
ridiculous question since it's just us? What is our purview to prevent them from not approving that site plan if they don't clean it up? Like, what's our position to do that?
I don't.
That's why I'm asking it now.
I don't think that would be,
We can table it, I just want to
Yeah,
put it out there,
but
so I'd
no,
love to
it's-
understand like what our actual. I don't want to get the township in trouble, but I also have concerns, and if we can help hold them accountable, I'd like to figure out a path
Yeah.
forward.
So the developer coming before us with this new proposal is the same one that owns the mess?
the developer it is, yes. Yeah, they're
That's
essentially
fine.
the parties behind the developer have changed.
Good.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll bring my
So let's
2x4.
explore
Yes,
one
that's why I wanted to bring it, I'd like to understand what our, again, without being in the township of trouble, what role we can be playing.
Yeah.
That.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up now, and I will prepare a better answer for
No, you're good.
for the
Well,
future.
We
no
got
matter what
time.
the answer is,
Uh,
I dare say we can at least admonish.
I won't stop you there.
That's good.
Alright, well, they've already done it, but planning commissioner comments? Uh, All right, there being nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and supported. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.